Hello, my name is Bradley Merle, and this is my media evaluation. Question 1. In what way does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? Our media product did a number of things similar to that which we used in our actual product. Use of music to create certain feelings and aesthetic effects. Appropriate edits to convey the speed and the emotions once again in the film. Advanced techniques such as colour correction and special effects to create the scenes that feel darker, more moody, and realism, for instance, of the gunshots. These are all used in the industry. At the same point, we also use them to mimic that. Question 2. How did your media product represent particular social groups? Well, questions 2 and 4 are very similar in the field of audience and how they were affected by our piece. So I'm going to bunch those two together. We aimed at two particular social groups: male teenagers from about the ages of 15 to early 20s, and the horror fiction fans. Both social groups, after research which you can find on my blog, tended to enjoy the zombie horror films, and we felt that scenes such as the conflict with the gunshot and the conflict with the zombies in general attracted this audience, as it stayed with the same conventions that we've seen in traditional films, while breaking those boundaries with sort of a direct contact. The fact that you see them in cities and things like that that are still populated with humans, it's almost as if they've been blended into our own society, and in that sense it breaks the conventions that we've typically seen. Question 3. What kind of media institution might distribute your media product and why? Two main media products would be appropriate for my media product: film industries such as Warner Brothers and Universal, and sites such as YouTube. This is a film, so naturally it's understandable we'd want to go with well-known distributors such as Warner Brothers and Universal. They would be able to have a worldwide range, they're well known, therefore it's kind of the label that would go with the brand, and therefore people would be more inclined to buy it because it's been with a reputable company. Sites such as YouTube allow us to gain a bigger audience and therefore, better views, more money potentially. Question 5. How did you attract your audience and address them via your media product? Well, we attracted our audience by the use of select viewings, along with the release of a short trailer, which you can see on my blog and also can be found on YouTube, but the blog would obviously be a lot easier to find. And we then would target our audience via these techniques, which are aimed to create person-to-person advertisement, which was usually via mouth-to-mouth. This is identical to one of the main techniques used by actual media institutions, used to publicise their own products, thereby replicating the whole film industry as a whole and better improving sort of the relationship between our product and actual products. Question 6. What have you learnt from technologies from the process of constituting and constructing this product? Well, I've learnt a number of things to do with the main editing and the use of camera. When I recorded this, I'd never used a camera, and therefore the whole recording experience was totally new to me, and it took a while to actually accommodate myself with the cameras and things like that, because I'd only used very basic equipment before in the past, so I sort of had to get used to it and then direct other people to use that technology, so it's all very new to me and confusing. Also, I'm a PC user and I use software such as Adobe After Effects, so I had to learn how to completely learn from the start again, because I ended up using a Mac to edit this stuff, because that's what I had as offers to me. I also had to then use and learn how to use Final Cut Express. And I think, given that, I did very good in sort of addressing sort of techniques that I'd had to learn again, such as colour correction, gunshots and bloodshots. Those are all new things I had to learn. And once again, all new to me, and I felt that the media product showed how much I'd improved. Hello, this is question 7 of my media evaluation task. Question 7. Looking back at your preliminary task, what do you feel you've learned in the progression from it to the full product? Well, in hindsight, I felt that doing the preliminary task has truly shown how much of a progress I've actually made with my own group and in skills such as the editing and the filming. Working with others was something I'd had to practice. Corpsing by actors was apparent in the first piece, for instance. In the argument with the cupcake, the other actor, when he slammed his hands and lifted himself up from the ground, was clearly smirking, and it ruins the general feel of the actual comedy there. Therefore, doing the horror piece, I had to make even more certain that none of that was happening. Otherwise, the whole seriousness of the situations would be undermined by the fact that the actors themselves weren't taking it seriously. That and working with other people, for instance, I didn't edit the final piece entirely. I did things like the effects and some of the basic editing. However, someone else also took that on, and I had to cooperate with them when editing it. So the full piece wasn't completely mine, and therefore I had to learn to sort of take my hand off the reins slightly more. Skill-wise, obviously I just mentioned basic editing. Things like colour correction, completely new experience, and others had to help me do that. And I had to create special effects like the gunshot and the blood wound, which I'd never done. In fact, the first time did the bloodshot, I had to make a physical thing, which was basically an air compressor in the form of a 2-litre bottle, and pump that with air, and there was a hose basically attached to the end of the air compressed water bottle, which then pushed air through and caused red water, which looked like blood, to spurt through the character. You can still see that in the video, however, it's slightly enhanced by an extra bit of red in areas. That was a completely new process. I'd never sort of made on-scene actual effects, and it was a whole new experience, and it sort of taught me about not only making it in the actual computer, but making it when I'm filming, and then sort of the cooperation to get things like that done was really apparent in the end product, which came off really well in my opinion. Thank you for watching my evaluation, and that's the end.